and welcome to the Jean Hales Kitchen. My name's Sandra Villela and I'm the naturopath and herbalist at Jean Hales. I like to suggest that people have a bit of variety for breakfast, so now I'm going to show you a breakfast loaf that I've created. I was inspired to make this breakfast loaf for a friend of mine, a busy mum who on her days off forgot to have breakfast, and then by mid-morning she was really tired. She's quite partial to a sweet breakfast, so this is quite sweet, this banana bread. You often go out for breakfast and see banana bread on the menu, and so my variation is quite a healthy breakfast loaf. It's kind of, I thought about everything that you would put into a bowl of muesli, but make it into a breakfast loaf. This meal gets prepared partly the night before, so you need to soak some of the ingredients overnight and then complete it in the morning. That way you can actually wake up, complete the breakfast loaf, put it in the oven and actually have a hot breakfast if you like. So in a bowl overnight, you'll need to soak 1 cup of rolled oats. You can use quick oats if you like, but the consistency will be quite different. So rolled oats or quick oats, 1/2 cup of pecans or walnuts that have been chopped up, 1/2 cup of dates that have been chopped. You can use figs. My friend did vary the recipe a little bit and she used some dried figs. So again, the taste will change a little bit. You can use dried figs. And then 1 cup of yogurt and some honey, 1/4 cup of honey. Now, by soaking it overnight, the idea of it was that the dates and the honey, enough of that sweetness made the whole loaf nice and sweet. This is the one that we've soaked overnight. So you can see that what will happen is the moisture from the yogurt is taken into the oats. So partly my idea was to make it sweet, but in fact what happens when you soak things overnight, like the nuts and the seeds and the oats, is they start to activate or they start releasing some of the minerals that aren't readily available. And so that makes it even healthier. So to this we need to add the rest of our ingredients. So you'll need to use 3 to 4 ripe bananas, depending on how sweet or how ripe the bananas are. So once you've mashed up the bananas, then you can add in the dry ingredients. I'm using wholemeal spelt flour. So again, when we're using whole grain foods, they're much richer in B vitamins and magnesium. Because this is not a self-raising flour, we will need to add in some baking powder. So 1 cup of wholemeal spelt flour. We need to add 3/4 cup of shredded coconut. Coconut just goes really nicely in these banana, makes it quite a tropical sort of banana bread. A teaspoon of cinnamon, and it's 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Now that might sound like a lot, but when you're making your own self-raising flour, it's usually 2 teaspoons per cup of flour. So I'm counting the oats as a cup of flour and then the wholemeal spelt flour as a cup of flour as well. Mix that around. The mixture is still quite moist. Okay, so I use macadamia nut oil. Macadamia nut oil is a great oil to cook with instead of butter. It's a monounsaturated oil, so it's quite healthy and can easily substitute in recipes where you would normally use butter. Generally, you use about 1/3 less of the quantity of that the recipe is asking for with butter. So 1/4 cup of macadamia nut oil is added into this loaf. And finally, 2 eggs that you just lightly beat. Okay, give it one final mix. Now, a loaf tin that you've lined with some baking paper, and pour the mixture into the pre-prepared baking loaf tin. Just smooth that over a little. Then you need to bake that in an oven that's been preheated at 180 degrees for about an hour or until it's nice and golden. After it's cooled for about 10 minutes, then it should be right to cut. This smells so delicious. The banana and that baked taste is divine. This is still quite warm. And you can indeed serve it warm, or of course you can grill it or then put it in the toaster. I like to serve yogurt with it because the tart flavour of the yogurt is a nice contrast to the sweetness of the breakfast loaf. So just a little bit of yogurt on the top. can add some extra walnuts or pecan nuts if you like. And there you have a delicious breakfast loaf. All the ingredients that you would often have in a muesli baked in a ready to go breakfast loaf. Enjoy.